Hello everyone, today I'm going to make sour pickle cabbage or Som Puck Ga Lum in Laos, that's what we called it. We're gonna start by boiling pig ears for an hour with salt. This is optional. After everything cools down, then we're gonna slice in the strip like that as shown. Boil, cook sticky rice with lots of water seasoned with salt and MSG and let cool. Now we're gonna slice some cabbage. We're gonna cut off the stems. After removing all the stems, we're gonna slice and cut them in long strips, or you can cut it into any shape and size you like, but this is how I cut my cabbage. After I slice the cabbage, I wash them 2 to 3 rinse. Cabbage are not as dirty, so 2 to 3 rinse is perfectly fine. I'm gonna add green onions in my Som Puck or cabbage pickle. Some people also like to add bean sprout. I'm doing my version of the recipe. This is how I like it. I don't have bean sprout, so this is what I'm gonna use, just cabbage and green onions. I am cutting the onions in long strip. Cut most of the white part of the onions a long way up in half. Then I cut them into 2 inches or half, however you like it, but I like mine at least 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Now you can start squeezing and scrubbing, but don't put a lot of force. Just kind of light and squeeze. Not as kneading it like you knead dough. That's a no. So you lightly squeeze all the vegetables. And then you can add some salt, some MSG. If you have less salt, the sour cabbage will be spoiled. If you have too much, it will take a long time to turn sour. You want to be just right, depending on the amount of your cabbage and the rice water that you cooked in advance. I added 2 teaspoons of MSG, 3 tablespoons of sea salt or kosher salt, not any salt that contain iodines, that will be spoiled as well. I added the rice water that has been cooled down. You want the rice water to fill and let all the cabbages submerge under the water. Notice that I am not using a strainer, and I have a purpose for that. I let a little bit of rice grain fall in the cabbage because that would help the cabbage process faster. They get sour faster. Then add the sliced pig ears in the cabbage and the green onions. You can add a lot of bean sprout in here as well, but I don't have that. This would be so perfect if I have bean sprout. Make sure you taste the juice. Make sure it is a little bit salty, but not over salt. If you don't have it enough salt in there, it will be spoiled. You need just the right amount of salt. Mix everything well. Make sure everything's marinated and season it perfectly. It is hard for me to give the exact amount of salt because every cabbage and all the juice from the rice are different depending on the portion that you have. After 3 days, the cabbage started to get sour. You can place the whole thing in the refrigerator and serve as you go from there. Thank you for tuning in my channel and have a wonderful day, my friends.